You ever come across a story online that's so personal, so powerful, you just get pulled in? Well, today we're not here to talk about a treatment. Instead, we're going to deconstruct a masterclass in persuasive storytelling. We're going to break down, piece by piece, just how the story behind the Beat Arthritis Strategy is built to be so incredibly convincing. Let's get into it.
Right out of the gate, it doesn't start with a fact or a number. It starts with an instruction to your imagination. Now, if you're someone who lives with chronic pain, that line is everything. It completely bypasses your logical brain and speaks directly to that deep, deep desire for relief. It's a promise of an instant, almost magical escape.
And that really brings us to the first part of this whole thing, the powerful promise. Before you have any idea who's talking or what they're even selling, you're handed this incredibly desirable outcome on a silver platter. This is the hook, and it's designed to make sure you don't go anywhere.
And look how fast they give that promise a structure. It's not just some vague hope floating out there. No, it's a simple, clear, three-step plan. This move right here immediately creates a sense of, oh, okay, I can do this. It tells you this isn't going to be complicated, there's a path, and I'm going to walk you down it.
So the promise is set. But a promise on its own isn't quite enough. To really make it stick, you need someone to connect with. And you know, every great story, from movies to marketing, needs a hero that you can see yourself in. And here she is. Meet Shelly Manning. The details they chose here are absolutely key. She's not some genius doctor or a researcher in a lab coat. She's an office worker. And she doesn't just have one type of arthritis, she has two of the most common kinds. This is designed so you're not listening to an expert talk down to you. You're listening to a friend, a fellow sufferer, tell her story. It's a character built for maximum relatability.
The story then just piles on the pain. And I'm not just talking about physical pain. This is emotional devastation. This is how you raise the stakes. You go from a ruined anniversary dinner to the absolute betrayal of her husband leaving her. Suddenly, this story isn't just about sore joints anymore. It's about a whole life completely falling apart.
And this is rock bottom. It's what storytellers call the dark night of the soul. It's that moment of total despair, of complete vulnerability. And it's designed to tap into the deepest fears of anyone who feels trapped by their health. But of course, just when things look their bleakest, every great story needs a turning point. After hitting that absolute low, the narrative introduces this sudden, totally unexpected discovery, the moment that changes everything.
I mean, just look at the drama here. An impulsive trip born out of pure desperation. A chance encounter in some small, authentic little restaurant, a mysterious guide appears out of nowhere with a secret remedy, and boom, the relief is immediate, it's total, it's practically magic. This is the secret key part of the story, this ancient, hidden wisdom that holds the answer our hero could never find back home.
And along with that secret key comes a whole new way of looking at the world. The story lays out its core idea. Modern, Western approaches have it all wrong. The problem isn't your DNA, it's the way you live. This completely reframes the issue, right? It makes conventional wisdom the bad guy and offers this new, empowering alternative.
Now, this part is so important. Shelly's personal journey to get better suddenly becomes a noble mission. She makes a promise to share this secret, so she's no longer just healing herself, she's now a messenger, and she has a duty to go save everyone else. This adds this powerful layer of purpose and urgency to the whole thing.
Okay, but let's be real. A secret soup from a tiny village isn't very helpful for someone living in, Iowa. So the next part of the story is all about translation. It's about turning something mystical and foreign into something that's practical, credible, and you can use right now.
And this is where they build that crucial bridge. The narrative carefully explains how the ancient magic was basically reverse engineered. The exotic ingredients from far away? Don't worry, you can find similar stuff at your local health food store. The ancient wisdom? It's been validated with thousands of hours of computer research. That mysterious meal becomes a simple, step-by-step program. This is how the story works to make something that sounds unbelievable feel believable.
And to really hammer home the credibility, the story gives us a number, 47. Using a specific number like this is a classic technique. It feels concrete. It suggests this isn't just some fairy tale. It's a scientifically validated strategy. The ancient secret now has a stamp of approval from modern science, all to quiet down that little voice of skepticism in your head. So, with all that trust and credibility built up, what's the next move? You cast the widest net possible. All of a sudden, the solution isn't just for Shelly's specific kind of arthritis. Nope, it works for everything. By listing all these different conditions, the story makes itself relevant to pretty much anyone listening.
making sure they feel like this amazing promise is for them too. All right, we've had the hook. We've been on the hero's journey. We've seen the credible solution. The story has built up all this trust and all this desire, so now it's time to switch gears from storytelling to action. It's time for the final pitch. And there it is. The product is finally revealed. But notice the wording. It's not just a book or a guide. It's a 21-day step-by-step strategy. And here's the best part. It's presented as a personal consultation with Shelly. So you're not just buying some information, you're buying a guided experience with the hero of the story you just got so invested in.
And here comes the sales psychology. The cost of this program is immediately put next to these much, much bigger numbers, the supposed value of Shelly's time and the huge cost of medical bills. This is called price anchoring. So by the time the actual price is revealed, it's designed to feel incredibly reasonable, almost like a steal. It's an investment, not an expense.
And to get rid of any last-minute doubts, they take away all the financial risk. A 60-day, no questions asked, 100% money-back guarantee. It's a classic move that basically says you have absolutely nothing to lose here, which totally neutralizes that fear of maybe wasting your money. And this is the final powerful twist of the knife. The narrative has done its job. It's shown you a problem, a solution, and an irresistible offer. And now, the responsibility shifts completely over to you. The question isn't, does this work anymore? The question is, will you take action? This creates this incredible sense of urgency and makes doing nothing feel like a personal failure. So we've just walked through the 5 acts of this incredibly persuasive narrative. It doesn't really matter what the product is. The structure of the story itself is just a masterclass in emotional influence. And it leaves us with a really critical question to think about. When we're out there looking for answers, how much of what we decide to believe is shaped not by the hard data, but by the undeniable power of a really, really well-told story?